Hi and welcome to a new video. So today, at least I really hope this will go up today, I've got a fun thing for you guys, at least I think it's fun. So the Book Roast, she's hosting this 7 days of top 7 videos, and I only found about it today, but I really wanted to participate because it sounded like a lot of fun. So hopefully this is gonna all work out. But yeah, gonna link down her channel. I really love her channel. I only found out about it recently, but I've been watching all of her videos since then. And that's how I also found this video. So yeah, the idea is to make 7 videos in 7 days, each about a top 7, and she gave us all the topics for the coming days. So today's top 7 video is the top 7 books that you would like to see adapted into a movie, or I also chose to do like TV shows, because I feel like most of the books I chose would be better off being TV shows instead of movies. But yeah, I guess let's just get into it, because this introduction is way too long. So the first book I have for you guys is The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. I hope I said that right. And yeah, this is kind of like a space opera sci-fi novel. I read it last year. I really enjoyed it. I think the second book just came out. Even though I liked it as a standalone novel, I guess, so I'll probably still read the second book, but I liked it better when I still thought this was going to be a standalone. And therefore I also think that it would do really well as a movie instead of a TV show. So the book is about Nemesis, and she's basically, her sole purpose in life and why she was created was to protect the person that she was created for. And in order to do so, she has to impersonate that person and go to like the kind of like the court in this intergalactic world, if you can say it like that. I think so. Not sure if I'm explaining this satisfactory, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Nemesis was such an interesting main character, and I think that the world this takes place in would translate really well to TV or to like the big screen, because it's set in space, but they also don't like technology anymore, so they can't actually fix anything. At least I'm pretty sure that was this book. Anyways, I enjoyed this book, and I would love to see this as a movie. Then the second one is actually one of my favorite books, and this is the Dutch version, but it's Uprooted by Naomi Novik. And this is an amazing fantasy book. I loved it so much. It's about this village, and every couple of years the dragon, which is actually just like this old magician, or this, well, he's not that old, I guess, but okay, this magician, he lives in a tower. He comes down to the village, and he picks one of the girls to go and live with him and care for him, blah blah, and then in return he takes care of the town and keeps the magical forest that's trying to creep in, keeps that out, and everyone already knew which girl he was gonna pick that year, but at the last second he picks our main character, and it was just an amazing story. I loved our main character, I loved the dragon, I loved the side characters. The forest was really creepy and interesting. It was just a really great read, and I would highly recommend it to everyone. I think it's pretty underrated, especially here in the Netherlands, because there's not that many people talking about it, which is quite sad. So translating it into a movie would definitely help get her more attention. And I just really enjoyed the world, and especially the forest I think would be really cool to see on TV. Just, yeah, mostly because of the forest I want to see it on TV. Also because I really love it, obviously. But yeah. So on to the third one. So this is actually the second book in this duology, but I was struggling getting all the books out on my shelves. So this is the second book. The first one is This Savage Song. They're by Victoria Schwab, and I think this world would translate really well. I kind of want to say TV show because then we get it for longer, but I think these books would do quite well in like 2 movies since it's 2 books. So in this world, whenever people commit crimes, monsters are kind of like born out of that crime, and the city's basically overrun with monsters, which is a really cool concept. I enjoyed these books so much, also because there's hardly any romance in it. So yeah, that's pretty refreshing. And that's one of the reasons why I love this, especially, not especially, that, and because of the world, which I think would translate really well. And I think it would just be really interesting to see it on TV, or I guess I would love this to be a movie, so on like the big screen. And I think that a lot of people will love this as well, not just book lovers, but the concept is really cool with these monsters, and yes, just really want to see it again. And then for the fourth book, also the second book in the series because I couldn't get the first one. So 3 Dark Crowns and 1 Dark Throne by Kendare Blake. I recently read this book, read the first one last year, absolutely loved it. And for this I'm definitely thinking a TV series. I'm seeing something like kind of Game of Thrones kind of style, although it's not as gruesome as Game of Thrones. It's a pretty interesting and cruel world. For those of you that don't know what it's about, the story takes place on this island, and the queen always has triplets, and those triplets will grow up on different parts on the island based on their magical abilities. So you have the elementists, the poisoners, and the naturalists. And once they turn 16, they have to fight each other until one remains standing and that person becomes the queen. So it's a fight till death, which is pretty gruesome and cruel in my opinion, and I love it. Especially in like a book type of thing. I love it. And what I love most about this is that you get like all the perspectives, so it's not like some books from the start it's clear who you're supposed to root for. Like with the Hunger Games, a lot of people were gonna die, but all we cared about was Katniss and Peeta. In this book you care about all the characters because you get all the perspectives, you get all the stories, so you feel bad for anyone that might die. And I think that would work really well in a TV show. Like I said, kind of like Game of Thrones kind of style, where you get all the stories, and I guess most people are still rooting there for the same person, but in here I definitely know that everyone has their own team that they're rooting for, and I would just love to see that in TV shows. I think that would work out perfectly. You could get everyone talking about it on social media, rooting for their favorite queen, and I don't know, I just really want to see this world on TV and this battle. Then the fifth book, so this is also a Dutch version, but you might recognize it. It's Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, and I love these first 2 books. I can't wait till we get the third book in 2018. This is another cruel world. Guess that's what I like in my fantasy books. But yeah, so this would also need a TV show for sure, not just a movie, because there's a lot going on in these books, and I wouldn't want it just like to be just movies, because I would want to spend more time in this world with these characters. I'm like, I basically have no clue where the third, and I think it's gonna be 4 books. I have no clue where, like, the direction those books are taking, because the second book was way different than I was expecting. I really loved the first book. It was like, there were a lot of heartbreaking things in here, and oh man, I would love to see that. That would just be epic and heartbreaking and just amazing. And yeah, like I said, I have no clue what's gonna happen next. And I think that would be pretty awesome for people to see on TV as well. Like, this would not be a predictable TV show at all. So, yes, please. So, for the 6th book, I went with Six of Crows, one of my favorite books, favorite duologies, favorite fantasy settings, favorite characters. And I would just love, love, love to see these characters come to life on the big screen. They are definitely some of my favorite characters in all of young adult literature. Jesus, what a word. Okay, so yeah, I would just love to see this heist on the big screen. I think it would be amazing. I love the Grishaverse. It's a really, it's just a really nice, well, not nice, I mean, that's not really the word for it, but I like the world, and I like Ketterdam a lot, since it's based on, like, I don't know, was it 18th century Amsterdam, 16th century, something like that, like long ago Amsterdam. And since I'm from the Netherlands, I immediately like was drawn to it. And some of the other worlds are like based on Russia, and I'm not sure what the other ones were. I'm sorry. I just know the Netherlands because that's important to me. But yeah, so there are some like Dutch words in here as well, which was really fun. Some Dutch names. And just these characters are amazing. Most of them are morally gray, which I like. And I do think that's like a big trend going on, not just in books, but in TV shows and movies. Maybe it's not just a trend now, but I do feel like people love characters that aren't necessarily black or white. They're like, you root for them, but you know they're not like the best persons out there. That's the same with this, but the villains are like so much worse, so you can't help but root for them, even though they're criminals. Very lovable criminals, I might add. And yeah, I would just love to see this. I cannot wait. And I guess, I mean, I could see this as a movie, but I can also see like all of the books as TV shows. I don't know if that would work. Like, start with the Shadow and Bone books first, then go to this, since it's like, that would be chronologically okay. I'm just not sure if people that watch that show would also watch this show, if that makes sense. But yeah, as long as we get this, I'm happy. And then the last book, that's one I finished like really recently, and that's Warcross by Marie Lu. I really enjoyed this book, and what I enjoyed most about it was the world. And then, I mean, it's mostly set in our world, but this game has kind of taken over, Warcross. It's virtual reality, but to the next level. And I think that would do wonderful in a movie. I mean, we've got a lot of, like, future movies where they can do great things. So I think this would translate really well. I think they can do wonderful things with it on the screen. And the games they play in this one, I loved reading about that, so I would definitely say add more of those to the movie if possible. And I would just love to see that played out in the movie. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I would definitely pay good money to see that. So yeah, please make this into a movie. Okay guys, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of the other videos coming your way. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.